Welcome to Cousin Sal's winning weekend. The draft experts were right about this program. It's got a high ceiling. I just measured before the show. It's true. We've got a good one for you today. Phil Simms is joining us to give us his take on the greatest amusement park ride football has to offer. That's the Shador Freefall, plus what he thought about the rest of the NFL draft, who won, who lost, and why he thinks my Dallas Cowboys were the big winners before the draft even started. Then we'll check in with the D3 and get their picks for the Eastern Conference semifinal series between the Pacers and Cavs, as well as the finals of, yes, there's only one final, of the Kentucky Derby. But first, it's time for a segment that tests my reflexes and reactions. It involves our producer and Costco Gold Star member, Babyface Joel Solomon, throwing a crumpled up piece of paper with a thought written on it. I'll catch it, I'll read it, I'll tell you my thoughts on the issue. We call this Tossing Topics. All right, Babyface, let's see what you got. Winds up. This is 56 mix-up. Okay, by now you've all heard that last Thursday, the New York Giants, with their first pick, selected edge rusher Abdul Carter from Penn State. And before Kamish Goodell could extend his hand to congratulate him, Carter had already asked Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor if he'd be willing to unretire his number 56 so that he could wear it. And this is a giant ask, literally. It's bad enough, Abdul Carter, that you're walking around with a recently deceased president's name. I'll let that slide. Now this, and I know being aggressive was one of Carter's greatest draft qualities, but this is a little too aggressive, and I'm throwing a flag. LT turned him down, and rightfully so. Lawrence Taylor is a man you should be afraid to ask for the time, let alone for his jersey. Plus, he pawned his Super Bowl ring. His jersey number is the one thing he hasn't sold yet to pay rent. You may remember about 2 decades ago, LaDainian Tomlinson tried to steal the LT nickname, and that didn't work either. There's only one LT. He doesn't even need his name. He owns the initials LT and the number 56. Period, stop, termination, kibosh. LT's 56, Jackie Robinson's 42, MJ's 23, and Forever's 21. All untouchable. Come on, Abdul. Retired means retired. Pick another number. You've got upwards of 98 others to choose from, including the number 58 LT wore on any given Sunday. There, problem solved. All right, Babyface, what else do we have? All right, Derby bucket. Ah, yes, the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby takes place tomorrow. The D3 and I are going to give out our picks later in the show, and although I've never visited Churchill Downs, I wouldn't consider this a bucket list event.
What?
Yeah, no, it's true. I did get to check off a bucket list sporting event last month with the Masters. Special thanks to Bill Simmons and, more importantly, to my manager, James Baby Doll Dixon, for the onslaught of secondhand smoke in Butler Cabin. But I'm still in no rush to get to the Kentucky Derby. And before you whip me with a riding crop, hold your horses. First of all, I don't like getting dressed up for sporting events. I already wore my one cute turquoise top to Easter brunch. I don't have anything fluorescent or any pastels. I don't enjoy mint juleps or mint anything. I'm actually more of a Dentine Fire guy. And look at this. Instead of traveling 10 hours round trip to witness a 2-minute event, I could reach over to my nightstand and bet it on my phone on an app called FanDuel Sportsbook. Also, the whole thing's kind of stupid, isn't it? Most of the time, you're betting on the horse's trainer. Imagine if we did this in the NBA. Now, I know the Celtics have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but the Orlando Magic trainer really prepares a wonderful ice bath. I'm taking the Magic to sweep. The Kentucky Derby is fine as a TV event. My living room already smells like manure. Believe me, I'll be fine if I skip out on Chunk of Gold's last race. It's worth it to miss Chunk of Gold if I also don't have to run into Chunk of Plaid. Sorry, Joey Fatone. You're going to need to say bye-bye-bye to that outfit. All right, one more, Babyface. These are going good. Belichick problems. All right, I don't think I'm ever going to stop talking about this. That Bill Belichick interview last week was the most fascinating CBS Sunday morning program since every week we're forced to watch Will Levis attempt to play the quarterback position. Belichick was wearing his very best sweatshirt that only half the termites in Raleigh-Durham got to, but the big moment came when his girlfriend/creative muse, Jordan Hudson, interrupted the interview. Here it is.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
Where have I seen that move before? Oh, that's right. Jordan definitely learned the "we're not going to talk about that" line from listening to Belichick press conferences. She might as well have followed it up with "we're on to Cincinnati." Why so secretive? You know, I met my wife at a bachelor party in Puerto Vallarta at a bar called Carlos O'Brien's, and I can't tell enough people about it. But the truth is, maybe it isn't anyone's business how their sweet, sweet love affair commenced. Also, maybe she's saving that answer for her memoir or for her interview with Piers Morgan, or maybe they found their love in that hopeless place Rihanna talks about. Or maybe, just maybe, I should sell my Tar Heels over 7.5 wins ticket right this very second. Not sure if Bill can win without Tom, but he definitely ain't winning without Jordan, unless this Jordan shaves her head and starts smoking cigars. All right, that does it for Tossing Topics. Now it's time for my irrationally angry attempt to make rational sense of a somewhat irrational bet. It's wagering. In case you didn't hear, last Thursday, Colorado's Travis Hunter was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars with the number 2 selection. Yes, it happened. The Jags traded the Browns for the pick. There's Travis doing his best impression of a dancing highlighter. Mel Kiper was stoked too. He somehow refrained from having a nervous breakdown on national television. Don't worry, he saved it for the entire remainder of the weekend. For Hunter, getting paid number 2 money and not having to play for Cleveland is what they call in the business a win-win. The Jags are essentially getting 2 players for the price of 1. Yep, 2 players. I guess he has bipolar issues? Nah, that's a joke. Of course, Hunter played both ways for the Buffs, put up amazing numbers, so amazing that FanDuel already has props up for his offensive and defensive contributions as a rookie. And here's the one I like. Travis Hunter, 10 or more touchdowns combined at 7-1 odds. Now, do I completely trust Trevor Lawrence? No, of course not. He's had his share of bad hair games. I think he's good for 8 connections, and then Hunter gets 2 or 3 more from generous opposing quarterbacks, namely the ones that play for the Colts, the Panthers, the Jets, and the Titans. All on the schedule, all shaky. A perfect 10 gets me 7-1 odds. Let's go with Travis. Hunting season starts right now. And time for our first break. When we return, another New York Giants great who has his number retired, Phil Simms, joins us. Would he be willing to give his number 11 to Jackson Dart? We'll also get his take on the Shador show. That's next on Cousin Sal's Winning Weekend. All right, welcome back to Cousin Sal's Winning Weekend. Our next guest played his entire career with the New York Giants. He had his number 11 retired by the team, and I don't think he's letting anyone else wear it unless that request comes with a gift card to the Cheesecake Factory. You could hear him with his son, Matt, on the Simms Complete podcast. Our guy, Super Bowl MVP, legendary thrower of the football, the great Phil Simms is here.
Okay, couple things there. That was
okay.
Yeah. I want to give my jersey to Abdul Carter because I want him to live up to my expectations, because when I was in high school, I was an outstanding linebacker. So there we go.
All right, well, what about this, though? This is Cam Ward did get Warren Moon to turn in his retired number 1, so he'll be wearing that. The Giants draft, like you said, Abdul Carter, and he had the nerve to ask LT for his legendary 56. LT told Abdul to go to hell. He's lucky the reaction wasn't more severe. Where are you on this? What if Jackson Dart wants your number 11? Would you take it?
Hey, look, I told some of my friends and people around me, I said, I'd let him have it in a second. I said, can you just help it a little and make it better or whatever? I think it would be a lot of fun. It wouldn't bother me. But
would you really? Really, though? I mean, that's a pretty big honor, the 11. You're not going to give it up, right? Yeah.
It's just whatever. I don't know. I just go, if they really want it. But my wife, I don't know if my family said anything. The boys didn't say anything. But my agent, don't you dare give up that jersey number. Well, first of all, Bill Carter's going to ask for it. But if he would have, it was up to me, I probably would give it to him.
Now, your draft year, 79, you went 7th overall. Where did you want to go? Were there any teams ahead of the Giants that you were saying to yourself, oh, please don't take me? I think it was Buffalo, KC, Cincinnati, Chicago, and Baltimore were
really? Them, right? Kansas City was before the Giants that year.
I think so, that. Yeah.
Kansas City was, I know they really wanted to draft me, and they sent people to almost every one of my games. I didn't want the Bengals to pick me. Too close to home. I grew up in Louisville. That's where I was born. I didn't want to be right up the river, an hour and a half away, and just too many distractions. I just wanted to go. The team I really wanted to go to, of course, was San Francisco. I worked out, back then, the pro days are, you had them one at a time. And it was like my combine. I don't know how many, I had to think it up or chalk it up one day. I'm going to say I did at least 15 full-scale, big-time workouts for teams at Moorhead. Yeah, it was a lot. But come on, Sal, hey, I got to drop back and throw the ball. This is so tough. I mean, it was exciting. It was fun as hell. All my teammates, would be out there catching footballs, and the workouts were awesome. And, they all wanted to see one thing: let it go. Well, okay, that's probably my thing. I'll let it go. Then Bill Walsh comes in, and I start to work out. And after about 8 throws, I'd say he stopped. He goes, "What are you doing?" And I go, "Isn't this what you want to see?" He goes, "No, I want you to be pretty and elegant and whatever." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm thinking, wow, this guy's nuts. So I throw more, and he goes, "Too hard." And he does it for like 5 throws. "Too hard, too." And then finally I throw one, hell, I lob it. He goes, "Oh, now that was beautiful."
What?
And I worked out with him twice. And I tell you, when the workout was over, we talked, and man, he sold me right there. This is the truth, Sal. He goes, "Yeah, we're going to draft you. You're going to come out, and we're going to start work the next morning. And then you're going to lead the NFL in passing, yards, touchdowns, completions." And he's going on, and I'm just looking at him, and he gets done. He looks at me, goes, "You don't believe me?" And I go, "Oh, yeah, sure, I believe you."
Okay, so now listen, I don't even know why I'm asking you about this, because I know you're sick of talking about it, and I'm sick of asking people, but I think we have to. Why? I don't think we'll ever see such a disconnect between what the media saw in Shedeur Sanders and what the team saw. Why do you think this is?
Well, let's go do it. You said it right away. What the media saw and what the NFL saw. Oh, pretty different. Let's say this. I never got into the fact that I think his arm is every bit really good, solid NFL, maybe a little plus from the middle of the pack, So that's not a problem. Then they said about he's not that mobile. Well, when I watched him, I thought in the pocket, getting out of it, all those things, I thought he was pretty good. But, but everybody on the draft, he's so accurate. And hey, he might be, but I can't judge him yet because I had it in my notes. He threw 168 passes last year that were at the line of scrimmage or behind it. Okay? 168. 100 completions were screens. How many screens do you throw that are incomplete? But everybody hung their hat on 74%. Man, the almost 4 sacks per game, 15 sacks outside the pocket last year, 25 in. How do you do that? When you break the pocket, either you throw it or you throw it away. So, everybody kind of knows that. I noticed it his first year there. I said, man, he's worried about incompletions. Throw the damn ball away.
Here's what I think, Phil. You tell me. You could steal this too if you can make it like you made it up.
Okay.
I think Dion told Shedeur, you know what? We put enough on tape. You're there. I have ties to Fox Sports, ESPN, NFL Network. Everybody loves you. You're going to be all right. And it's like a prize fighter who's up 7 rounds to 2. He thinks he's up 7 rounds to 2 and then loses the last 3 rounds, and the judges give the fight to his opponent. So Shedeur doesn't participate in the Senior Bowl. He opts out of the Shrine Game. He didn't participate at the NFL Combine or field workouts, mails it in during interviews, says my past will speak for itself, and it just wasn't loud enough.
His pro day workout, and I love this people. Oh, you don't know about these pro days. You know who I'm talking about. But I just go, no, to me, it's important to go out there and to just let it go and show even better that who you are. Well, we saw you on film. We saw some games, but man, in person, you are the man. And we constructed better than your team did to make you the man that we want you to be in the pros. The Giants spent so much time on Shedeur, just at games, different people going to the games, interviews, the workout, the pro day. I mean, it's endless what they did. And I think that there was something in it. They were thinking, maybe we will take him in at the top of the draft. But as they went along, once the offseason came, then it started fading, I think, pretty quick. And that's one of the reasons why they ended up with Jackson Dart.
Yeah. When your son Chris was drafted in the 3rd round, nobody prank called him, right? I mean, he just, the call he got was the real one, and that was that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What should be the punishment of Jeff Albrecht's son?
Well, one, he's not part of the NFL, so what can they do? They can do nothing. And I'm sure his son is being punished by the father. And the father's got something over his head for quite a while here. So whatever he does and says to his son now, the son says, yes, sir. Okay.
Can I tell you what I think his punishment should be?
Okay, I want to hear it.
He should be forced to attend every Browns home game and sit 50-yard line and watch this disaster. That's it. They'll never make a prank. He'll never pick up the phone again. I tell you that.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah. Let's talk about Shador's teammate, Travis Hunter. Jaguars trade up and get him. Did you like the move to trade up? And does he play offense or defense or both?
I think he's going to be an offensive player. Did I like the trade up? It was a lot. But, they're looking for, they want dynamic, big time, and a focus on the team. And let's help our damn quarterback out. All these things. So it didn't really bother me. But he'll be a wide receiver. And I liked him, probably had him at number 1 as a wide receiver. Not that he's a great route runner, all that. He's the guy that can take the 5-yard little short run across the field and always make the first guy miss and pick up 10 and sometimes go. And great, not good hands, great hands. Just has a way. He's a guy that just understands the sport so well. He can take his abilities and magnify it. And as a defensive back, very good, reads receivers, reads the pass concepts, and gets the balls that nobody else would because he understands what's going on the offensive side. But to put him one-on-one against these NFL wide receivers, I don't see that as being a strength of his.
So FanDuel has him 50-1 odds that he wins both offensive and defensive rookie of the year. You're saying it should be even a longer shot than that because he's just not going to get the snaps on defense, right?
Yeah, 50-1, man. Well, I don't bet, but that's when I would
stop it.
Just put as much as you can on it. It ain't going to happen.
Okay, we're going to fix that. I don't bet stuff.
We got to have Bill Carter and all these pass rushers.
Yeah.
And my, come on, there's no way. But
all right, but let's go offensive rookie of the year. Give me your way too early pick. You go Cam Ward, you go Ashton Genty, you go Travis Hunter, as you mentioned.
Yeah, Travis Hunter would be high up on my list. Ashton Genty too. Running backs always have a chance, and I like the fact Ashton Genty. He's kind of what everybody said, and he would be my pick.
I like him too. I think everyone's going a little too crazy about the pick itself. The Raiders had Josh Jacobs, one of the best in the game, and, struggled to win 4, 5, 6 games. They're in that crazy division. I don't know. I feel like running back first round is meant for teams that are one piece away from getting it done. And the Raiders are several pieces away, 6, 7. I don't know.
Man, I think the Raiders had an unbelievable offseason, though. And if you want to turn your team around and give it hope right away and have something, I think running back's probably the one position that can make a change faster than any other position on the team, even on quarterback.
Okay, you tweeted that the Steelers have a plan for a quarterback. They eventually took one, Will Howard from Ohio State. Right. I don't know if you think they should just move on from Aaron Rodgers, but what if Coach Tomlin brought you in as a consultant and said, Phil, I made a mess here. I thought we can win every game 18-16. We just can't do that in this division. Can you help me out? What are we supposed to do?
Get Aaron Rodgers. Everybody thought they were going to draft a rookie, and that was the great feel, I think, about Shador Sanders. 21, he's going to go there. And they passed on him many times, so that he was never on their radar to draft. That's what it tells me. But yeah, they need a guy like Aaron Rodgers to come in there to give them hope, different thing. And they got some receivers now, but they got to be, I'm just saying, I get tired of hearing about, well, Pittsburgh needs a quarterback. How about we stop guys in big moments? How about we pass protect a little better? Could we run it? Could we design better damn plays instead of what every team in the NFL is running? And let's be a little creative or do something. And so, they're not a quarterback away. Aaron Rodgers, trust me, Sal, you know it. When he gets there, he might not be giving opinions now, but if he's the starting quarterback, you're going to listen because he's going to have a lot of opinions of what he wants to do too. So. Yeah,
and if you add ayahuasca to Primanti sandwiches, the line's going to be around the corner. No one will ever get in.
All right. Well, I don't know about that.
Like that.
It's
okay.
No, it's all good. It's all good. That's a good line, though.
Hey, listen, since it's my show, let's talk about my horrific Dallas Cowboys for a second. I'm happy Jerry went offensive line in round 1 with Tyler Booker, Alabama. Not a great splashy pick, but a position we desperately needed. Second round, we take the defensive end, who was probably supposed to be a first-round pick from Boston College.
Yeah, he was a good player.
Yeah, but they said the offensive lineman Booker from Alabama was a stretch. I almost think at this point an SEC lineman can't be a stretch, unless you're taking a guy who's supposed to be in the 4th round, 1st round. I feel like you bring these SEC guys in. I mean, there were like 15 SEC players in the 1st round taken. I don't know. What do you think?
I know this. He was playing against basically borderline pro football teams on defense. They had 40 defensive players drafted, the SEC did. And I watch a lot of their games on weekends. That's the great thing about sometimes what I do now. Man, watching all these games, I stay up to 1 o'clock, it seems like every Saturday night watching games. Yeah, look at me, because my wife, she's worse than me. You're not going to turn the game off, are you? Well, hell, it's 20 after 1, or the game's not. Well, whatever. But what you block and what you do, the Cowboys have been very good at drafting offensive linemen. Their drafts overall over the years, Sal, they've been pretty damn good. I'll tell you another thing I'm really interested to see. I love preseason football. I really do. Because it's just a chance sometimes to see the rawness of players. I can't wait to see Joe Milton. I love him. I thought he would be a 2nd-round pick last year. He was my secret 2nd-round pick, late 2nd, maybe early 3rd. He goes in the 6th, which I was shocked. But watching him play and everything, man, those players on the Dallas Cowboys, I don't mean to get the situation this way, but when they go to practice the first day, they're going to come in the locker room, and the number one thing they're going to talk about is Joe Milton.
Really?
Absolutely.
You're getting me excited. Unreasonably possible. It's only May here. Yeah.
He can really throw it. He's accurate. He has the right speed on the ball. He's big and he's mobile. I know why New England got rid of him, because they don't need the competition, because those players, when you go out to practice every day, they see it and they loved him and they didn't need that controversy. Drake May played really well. So, clean it up where you have a backup that's really a backup, and let the starter have the stage to himself, and don't be split with your team because there's a group on the team that loves the backup quarterback. You don't want that.
Wow. All right. So, Phil Simms is on record saying Joe Milton is better than Drake May. I like that.
No, I did not say that.
I like that you just came out and said it. I love it.
Well, you go with that and you say I said it, and I'll get on a podcast and TV and I'll say, you a liar.
Okay. It won't be the first time. All right. Listen, Phil, what I'm not a liar about is I give you free bets every time you come on. I want to give you another one. We can't pay anyone here. You want to get paid, you go to Kay Adams Show. But back in October, I gave you a free bet. You took the Ravens to win the AFC at almost 4-1 odds. They lost a close one to the Bills in the divisional round. I'm going to give you another one. $100, whatever you want on the FanDuel menu. Super Bowl, Rookie of the Year, WNBA champ, snooker. I think you can bet snooker. I don't know. What's your pleasure?
Gosh, well, I'll do football for sure.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles to repeat.
Oh.
Super Bowl winners.
Plus 650. You almost get 7-1 odds for that. Really? They do everything right? I hate this.
Man, come on. It's ridiculous. They're low. They have to play bad to keep games close.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is. Once they got it rolling and they got the game plan to a T now. And early in the year last year, there was some more disruption inside that locker room. It was pretty bad. But they're 2-2, and they got exactly what's good for Jalen Hurts. Of course, the best offensive line in the NFL, not even close. Probably right next or maybe better than all those great O-lines we saw in Dallas. Sal.
Stop it. Stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
no,
That's
it just hurts, doesn't it? That offensive line was unbelievable, though. And you want to win a Super Bowl, get a really good offensive line. If you don't win it, you're going to be close. I like the Eagles winning again this year.
Phil, before you go, we've got one more question for you. We call this Cousins Conundrum.
Cousins Conundrum.
Here we go. You are presented with the task of fighting a fully grown gorilla. But You don't have to do it alone. You could have the 53-man roster from any pro football team in history assist you. Which do you take? Your life is on the line. Go.
The Raiders, when they had all those guys, Lau Alzado, Hendricks, just that whole group, with Al Davis being the guy in the corner telling us what to do.
That's a good one. The 70s Raiders, the late 70s Raiders.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Art Shell. Oh my gosh. Everybody was mad, tough, pissed off.
Yeah.
He was tight end. He was angry all the time. It was unbelievable.
Well, okay, so you're passing on your Giants, which surprises me. You didn't even think to take LT and Harry Carson and all the Jim Burt, and but you like this Raiders team against the Gorilla. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders, I'm not saying our team wasn't. They weren't worried about winning and losing. They just liked the action.
Now, a viral question. Could 100 men, I gave you 53, but they say, could 100 men beat a fully grown gorilla? And a lot of people are saying, no, I gave you 53. Do you win? Do you win the battle?
I would say yes. They can figure out a way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, tackle, hit him in the legs, grab one each, and then take him down. You got 50 guys. Come on.
Yeah. I'm in the same camp as you. All right, late 70s Raiders. You passed on the Giants. You passed on the 2000 Ravens. I would say the 78 Steelers are in contention, or my Cowboys of the 90s, only because they might have been on the influence of something that could have helped defeat this gorilla. Wow. Yeah, I think you have to consider those things. But wow, the Raiders, late 70s Raiders is a very, very good pick. You said the
Steelers. That Steeler team, there were some wicked dudes on that.
Yeah.
And of course, they had a quarterback. Come on, Terry Bradshaw. He probably could have wrestled the damn thing himself. I mean, Terry's freak. Terry
exactly.
Is a physical freak.
Terry Bradshaw may be part gorilla anyway. That might be an unfair pick. We have to 23 and me that. Sims Complete Podcast. Check it out. That's it. There you go. Wherever you listen to your podcast. Thank you so much, Phil Sims. We will be back with the D3 on Cousin Sal's Winning Weekend. Back to Cousin Sal's Winning Weekend. Let's keep this show moving. My next guests have been waiting in the green room for their names to be called, but that wait is over. Finally, they're my wizards of wagering, my gurus of gambling, my barons of betting, my overlords of the odds. From the Against All Odds podcast, the D3, Harry, Brother Bride, Darren, the Parlay Kid. What is going on, boys?
What's going on, Sal?
Hey, Sal.
What's going on, buddy?
Fellas, I don't know if you're caught up in this gorilla versus 100 human hysteria like I am. I've had multiple conversations surrounding this scenario this week. I am of the mind that 100 grown men could take out a gorilla no problem. Not no problem, about 20 might have to be sacrificed. But the other day through the Ringer, right on this very network, I asked Tate Frazier and our producer Sarushi what they thought, and they sided with the gorilla. Sarushi actually said no number of human men could take down a gorilla, and I drove home fuming. I really did. And then I realized, all right, maybe 100 men has to be spelled out. Like 100 Harrys probably couldn't get the job done, right? Even though he's probably the same species as the gorilla. But so I refined it, and I asked this of Phil Sims. You were presented with the task of fighting a fully grown gorilla. You don't have to do it alone. You could have the 53-man roster from any pro football team in history assist you. Which do you take? He went mid-70s Raiders, Matuzak, Alzado, crazy Kenny Stabler. I'm going to give him Big John Madden. Now I pose the question to you, fine gentlemen. Parlay Kid, start us off. Which team you taking to help you?
This is a good question. So I'll go with the 78 Dallas Cowboys, the Doomsday Defense. Randy White, the Manster, they used to call him. Ed Too Tall Jones, Sal, 6'9" himself. Not only a football player, but also a professional boxer, undefeated in his career.
Right.
So I think that's a big factor in my mind there. Hollywood Henderson and the like. Let's go with the Dallas Cowboys of 1978.
I like that. Let's get the Cowboy stuff out of the way because I'm also going Cowboys. I'm going 90s Cowboys. Parlay Kid, early 90s. Nate Newton's marijuana maybe shouldn't enter into this competition. That's not where we need it. We need some of the other chemical medicinal aids that they were maybe using back there. Charles Haley, Michael Irvin, Tony Casillas, Kevin Gogan, big boys, Leon Lett, Russell Maryland, Mark Tuinei, Kenny Norton could throw some fists, right? Son of a champ.
yeah.
I don't think this gorilla has a chance. All right, Harry, what do you think? What are you saying?
I'm going to go with Sol Jolliman, his Steelers of the 1970s.
Yeah.
That's right. Look, you got to have a plan too, Sal. You got to plan when you go up against this gorilla. Who else to have a better plan than head coach Chuck Noll? You've got Jack Lambert out there who's missing teeth. He's got cuts all over him. Pain doesn't bother him. Mean Joe Green, Mike Webster, tough dudes here. And you got Jack Ham, you got Rocky Blyer, Franco Harris, tough ass Penn State players.
Whoa.
And Terry Bradshaw, of course, too. Look, didn't he when he was doing his movies in the 70s and 80s, he was getting bottles smashed over his head and like Cannonball Run. So wouldn't
Yeah,
bother him either. He'd just go at it with these guys, Benny Cunningham. And how about Laverne Smith? They had a running back, the Steelers, Laverne Smith. If you make the NFL and your name's Laverne, you got to be a tough dude. Give me the Steelers of the 70s.
I guess that's good. I don't know. The gorilla might laugh if a Laverne is coming his way. I'm not sure. All right, brother Bry, finish. These are all good guesses. By the way, if they're wearing their pads, I don't even think this is a discussion.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But we're assuming they're not, right? They're just coming practice jerseys and everything.
Yeah, look, and Sal, look, if these are regular humans, like you said, I think the first few humans would be dead.
No doubt.
So like Harry said, you've got to have some type of strategy. But when you're talking about like a 53-man roster, Sal, I was looking at the 85 Bears, right? You know, you're led really pretty much by a guy in Jim McMahon who would be dumb enough, right, to lead the charge here. You have one of the toughest players in Walter Payton. You add the best defensive team ever, maybe, with guys like Singletary and Dent. And so the real reason I would do it, I wouldn't even just take the roster, right? I'd want the coaches as well. I'd want Mike Ditka, right? Probably the toughest coach of all time. You have Buddy Ryan on that staff. So I'd go to battle with that crew. But I will tell you, I would be in the way back. I would not be participating.
Where do you put Refrigerator Perry, in the front or in the back with you to finish off the scraps?
The back to help me out here.
He's in the back. You're hiding. You're hiding under his armpit?
Yeah, I'm hiding behind him. Hiding behind him for sure.
All right, I like this. I think we learned a lot here. All good answers. But now let's get to something we could actually bet on. NBA second round series. The Cavs and the Pacers begin Sunday. The Pacers won the season series 3-1, and now, in addition to Tyrese Halliburton, and Cavs also have Tyrese Halliburton's dad to worry about. Harry, your father against Tyrese Halliburton's father in a fight. Who wins? Come on.
You mean Gorilla Gagnon? I don't know. I don't know.
Your father and Tyrese's pops against the gorilla. All
My
right,
father's like 270. So I'd have to go and lean my father. He's I don't know.
Cavs minus 550 to win this series. Pacers plus 410 to win the series. Lots of fun bets here. I'm going to start us off. I'm going over 5.5. I know at least Bry disagrees with me here, but the Pacers are the inferior team. They did take 3 or 4 from the Cavs. A couple of those games were meaningless. I get it. I think, though, this is a good sign for a long series. I feel like I need to find reasons for the Cavs to hang in. As Indiana is a bit more experienced, right? They made it to the conference finals last year. I think these teams were 1-2 in fourth quarter points, 29 and 28, Cleveland and Indiana, respectively. So neither is ever out of a game. Nebard Halliburton against Mitchell and Garland should be fun. Cleveland's better, but the Pacers, they proved they're never out of these games. We saw what they did to Milwaukee in regulation and in overtime in Game 5. The two best home teams in the East, so I could see both holding serve. I like the Cavs maybe in 7, but at that point, I think I got a little cushion. I'm going to take over 4.5, which is only 5, over 5.5, which is only minus 115. Harry, you like that also?
Yeah, I'm going to go Cavs exactly 4-2 at plus 420. The Pacers are very good, have a solid starting 5. Just knocked out the Bucks from the playoffs for the second straight season, but the Cavs are clicking on all cylinders. What they just did against the Heat was historic. The Cavs have the best record and point differential in the Eastern Conference this season. Mobley is a star. Donovan Mitchell is a stud. And Darius Garland actually leads the team in scoring in the playoffs. Now, you mentioned, Sal, Indiana. Yeah, was 3-1 versus Cavs this year and won both games they played in Cleveland. So I'm giving Rick Carlisle's team 2 wins. but Cavs take it 4-2 at plus 420.
All right, Brian, I hope your reasoning isn't very good here because you're taking it 4-1 Cavs, and that's under 5.5 if I do the math correctly.
Yeah, 4-1 Cavs at plus 250. And I wonder, Sal, if that line maybe went from 480 to 550. You know, maybe there's better news on Garland, right, who'd been out the last two. I think they were kind of just being precautionary there with Garland. But look, I think the Cavs in this series, right, I think they're going to be able to win a few close games, and I think they're also in line to blow out the Pacers in one or two of these games. And so when you talk about the Cavs, right, this is one of the great regular seasons of all time. When we saw that translate to a dominating first round, right? This team shoots really well. They have great depth, all right? Just adding a guy like Hunter defensively, right? So they have a significant advantage in size here. So I think, you know, the Pacers, when you think about that series, right, it was a good series. There were two turnovers away from playing a game 6, right? And maybe even have to go game 7 there against a Bucks team that I thought was very limited here. So I think the Cavs are just a really, really great team. So I would take them in 5 at plus 240. So.
All right, Parlay Kid, bring it home. You're doing this fun thing. FanDuel Sportsbook allows you to go game by game and, you know, tell you the tally after 3 games. What are you going to go with?
Yeah, look, the only thing I could have done differently from you guys is go 4-0 Cavs, and I wasn't going to do that. So I'll go correct series score after 3 games, 2-1 Cavs at plus 106. I don't really see this going any other way. Like you're saying, Sal and Harry, 4-2, 4-3. I could see it. I could see it, what everybody just said. But I do think the Cavs are the much better team here. But I have enough respect for Indiana to think that they're going to steal one game in this series, at least at the minimum. They're a veteran team. They've been there before. But the Cavs, Sal, we can't overlook them. They've been so good this year. One of the greatest all-time seasons in the history of the NBA.
All right, sorry to laugh, Parlay Kid. Harry, do you know we're on TV right now? Do you have any idea?
Yeah,
Harry's
why?
like,
What's the matter? What I do?
He's like rubbing his neck. He's looking down. He's drinking weed soda. Like, you can't wait. We got to break in like 4 minutes. All right. It's all right. Let's do game 1. You stick with us, Harry. Game 1.
Sure, good.
Cavs
Sure.
-8, 229. This is on Sunday. They don't know what time. Boy, my -9.5 theory, taking both teams to win by double digits, has gone to crapola here. I blame the tariffs. I really do. The supply and demand for this bet is too out of whack. I still recommend it though. Cavs -9.5 is my official pick. If you go with the Pacers -9.5, 8-1 odds. Listen, if Halliburton's father murders all of the fans there in Cleveland, and the Pacers can win by double digits, that's not out of the question. I'll officially give out the Cavs though, -9.5, plus 110. We know what they did to the Heat. 3 of 4 games was by 9+. 3 were actually by 19+. 3 of 4 home wins. 3 of the last 4 home wins, 10 or more points. Mitchell has 7 game ones with 30+ points. That's a pretty good record. That's tough. Only MJ has done that. 122, 108. Give it to the Cavs, -9.5. Harry, you like them -8, just to take the line straight up.
I'm going to lay the 8, right, Sal? Like we mentioned, even though Cleveland lost both regular season matchups at home versus Indiana here in game 1, the Cavs make sure that doesn't happen again. The Cavs team is loaded. Jarrett Allen has double-doubles in 3 of his last 4 playoff games, and even Ty Jerome has scored 18 points or more in 6 of his last 8 games. Pacers have a hard time in game 1, Sal. Cavs defense shows up big. Cavs 109, Pacers 97, another playoff double-digit win. They're 4th in the last 5 games, Sal.
109.97. You add the 3, bring it up to 12. Okay, all right, I'll take that. All right, Bri, you like the over, although, boy, it is working against you.
Oof, yeah, I'm gonna go over 229. And wow, Harry's score is way under in this game here. But look, Cleveland was the top scoring team in the NBA this season, scoring 122 points per game. In round 1 with the Heat, they averaged 126 points over the 4 games. And look, Cleveland is 54-32 on the over this season. The Pacers are 46-39-2 on the over. So I will take the over 229 in this one, Sal.
All right, Parlay Kid, you have a player prop for game 1.
Yeah, I'll take Strus over, 3+ 3-pointers at plus 124. He hit this in 3 out of the 4 games against the Heat. He's gone over this number in 5 out of his last 6 games. He's averaging about 8 attempts during those games, and he's shooting at a 46% clip during the playoffs here. So He's a key component of this lineup. Spreads the floor for them. Strus 3+ 3-pointers or more, plus 124.
All right, fellas, nice job. Let's take a quick break. We're not done with bets yet. Let's face it, we'll never be done with bets. Coming up, we've already got NFL rookie props on the board. Brother Bry, this is very exciting. The Raiders finally have a player you like. We make history with your first of many Ashton Genty bets. Plus, Harry, go get your seersucker suit and fedora. We're about to make our Kentucky Derby selections. That's all next on Cousin Sal's Winning Weekend. All right, welcome back to Cousin Sal's Winning Weekend. The NFL draft was glorious. Great job by Green Bay and Seth Rollins. And now, before we start putting together mock drafts for next year, I know it's important to get those out stat. Let's take a look at our favorite rookie prop bets that are currently being offered on FanDuel Sportsbook. What do we have? We have Ward, McMillan, Genty, and Hunter. Bry, I know you're beaming here with the Ashton Genty pick. Phil Simms loved it. You are lukewarm on it. No, you like it, right? I mean,
yeah. No, okay. I like it. The way the draft went, I like it. I mean, I really like it for the next few years. I mean, I could complain about it in 5 or 6 years, but
right.
I like it.
But this year, you're going over with his rushing yardage total.
Yeah, I'm going to go over the 1,050.5 rushing yards this season. Look, the Raiders are desperate. I mean, Harry talked about it, right? Averaging, like less than 3.5 yards per carry last year. Desperate to turn around the running game. And Pete Carroll, right, is going to lean on Genty like he leaned on Marshawn Lynch. Genty ran for 2,600 yards last season at Boise State. And it's weird to think, Sal, like Bijan and Gibbs, the first-round running backs from 2 years ago, didn't make this number. But you have to remember, those two guys were splitting carries. Genty will be the workhorse here. I kind of feel like this will be at least like Josh Jacobs' first season with the Raiders, where he ran for 1,150 yards in just 13 games. So I really like the over in this one, and just stay healthy, Genty.
Mark Davis has to go blue turf, right? Got to get his players familiar. That's it. Maybe
Black turf.
Can it change colors? Like I feel like you could. Well, I mean, it's
well, it is grass. It's grass.
That's right. All right. Yeah. All right, Harry. You have McMillan. Be going under though, huh?
I'm going to go under, Sal. 825.5 receiving yards at minus 114 for the Panthers. Look, 825 is a lot for a rookie, especially a rookie on the Carolina Panthers. McMillan had a great career in Tucson, but after a fast start last year, he clips 100 yards receiving in just 2 of his last 7 games. Bryce Young played better in the second half of the season last year, but still averaged only 170 yards passing a game. And Andy Dalton, when he had to play last year, only averaged 165. Adam Thielen led the Panthers in yards with only 615 yards last year. He's still there. Second-year receiver, and Xavier Legette led the team in receptions and targets. And even Jalen Coker had almost 500 yards. So again, 825 yards is a lot for any Panthers player. I'm going under. It's the way to go.
Give us some more Jalen Coker stats if you can, because I don't think the people realize. No. All right. Okay, we're good. You know what, Harry? You're a negative Ned, and so am I with these rookies. I'm going Cam Ward under 3,200.5. I didn't even realize he was picked, guys. There's so much talk about Shador. Cam Ward went number 1 overall. I read somewhere. Yeah. Did Kuiper say anything? No. I know the rookies all went over this number pretty much last year, but I just don't think Tennessee is where you put up big numbers as a quarterback. Last 3 years, Levis, 2,100, 1,800. Tannehill the year before that, 25-36. You got Ridley, you got Van Jefferson, you got the up in years, Tyler Lockett. That trio could average 800 or so on the high end. That leaves you with 2,400. I know he'll hit some tight ends and running backs. I don't think he's going to get it. I don't know if he's going to stay healthy or win the job against Will Levis. I mean, God forbid he doesn't. I hate to be negative, but maybe he has 10 good games and still goes under. I'll say under 3,200.5. Now, Parlay Kid and Wager Rager, I was positive about Travis Hunter to get 10 combined touchdowns at least at 7-1, but I think your bet is better odds-wise.
Yeah, Sal, that's why I'm going with Travis Hunter at 12-1, 5 offensive touchdowns, 1 defensive touchdown. Seems like it's much better value there. And Sal, listen to this. This is also on FanDuel. 75 receptions and 2 regular season interceptions is plus 250.
I like that.
If
too.
you tell me he's going to get 75 receptions, I think he's getting in the end zone 5 times. And if he gets a couple of picks, he's taking one to the house here, Sal. So at 12-1, 5 offensive touchdowns, 1 defensive touchdown. Seems like the value seems really good there, Sal. It's going to be difficult for him to hit this in his rookie season. But look, he's going to be receiver possibly number 1 on that team to start, Sal. So let's go Hunter, 12-1, 5 offensive touchdowns, 1 defensive touchdown.
He's exciting. It's gonna be fun rooting for him. All right, guys. Saturday, 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. It's the only time Harry's allowed to be around 3-year-olds. What does that mean, babyface? Come on. Let's give out some picks. Harry, go ahead. Give us a pick real quick. We got about a minute and a half.
All right, listen, guys. I'm going to go with the 8-horse Journalism. It's a favorite. Won 4 races in a row, and that includes winning the Santa Anita Derby. The favorite has not won the Derby, Sal, since 2019. That changes on Saturday. Also, if you want to do a dollar try key, I'm going 8 with a 2-4-7-9. That's 8 with a 2-4-7-9. 2 of those horses, Sal, with a Q, my favorite letter in the alphabet. They're in the race. 8 with a 2-4-7-9 dollar try key, cost you $24.
Harry is begging you to lose money, risking it on his favorite letter, Q. All right. Because that's a lot of bull, I'll give my pick here. Citizen Bull, you can get him about 20-1 odds. Son of Into Mischief, the Damascus Stakes winner. Sometimes sons of famous horses are highly overrated by the media and then don't do well at all, but and then there's a prank call involved with the horse. I don't know what's happening. Trained by Bob Baffert. Haven't heard from him in the Derby in about 5 years. I mean, he's run, but he hasn't won in 5 years. Had to take a couple off. This horse won 4 of his last 6 races. Had the fastest workout Monday. I think it's the fastest horse overall. Running from the 1 post, so that's a tough thing. It could be difficult, but I like it. Get about 20-1. Like my chances with Citizen Bull. All right, Brother Bry, the Luxor Cafe.
Yep.
I think we ate there once. It wasn't too appealing, but okay, maybe a better one.
Not too good, but yeah, Luxor Cafe, 15-1, the son of American Pharaoh, who won the Triple Crown, been dominating in Japan, sitting in the 7th position, which has been one of the best post positions, especially recently. My lucky number is 7 here, so give me Luxor Cafe at around 15-1.
Lucky numbers, lucky letters. We have it all. Great work, guys. We talked underdogs, gorillas, horses. We're going to resell this show to the Animal Planet. Harry, I didn't forget, although you probably did, happy anniversary.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Thank you very much. 3 years. Wow.
There you go. I know
Time flies, I guess, huh?
We're going to be right back to wrap things up on Cousin Sal's Winning Weekend. Welcome back to Cousin Sal's Winning Weekend. We are all out of time. My thanks to the great Phil Simms. As always, he was excellent, even if he did use my free bet on the Eagles to repeat as Super Bowl champs. Boo! I'll let that slide. And as always, thanks to the D3. Those guys will be one of my first calls if I ever had to fight a gorilla, sticking them right there on the front line. Thanks to all of you for watching and listening. And please always remember, you may feel like an underdog, but just know you're all my favorites. Happy handicapping.